may be the greatest catch I've ever seen in my life.
Alright guys, thank y'all so much for all the support on the last video. Y'all killed that like button. I liked your suggestions that y'all gave me in the comments. Please, let's try to do the same thing on this video. Go down to the comment section. Let me know what video you would like to see next. Really, something that I can cover that will help you out, whether or not that's in your fantasy basketball draft, whether or not that's through trade or just overall roster management. But yeah, I'm excited to bring you this video, and as always, I'm excited to continue to dive in to the very intriguing sport in fantasy basketball, as it's something that I am not nearly as knowledgeable about as I am with fantasy football. So here, I'm excited to do the research. I'm excited to do everything I can to help everybody out in their fantasy basketball leagues in 2020 and 2021. All right, well, let's get into it and let's talk about our top 5 forwards. And I want to remind everyone, we are not going to be doing it in the way where you go through and you get a single point total for every player at the end of the week. No, that is not intriguing. That is not something that we are really looking to do. What I want to do is I want to go through and I want to make sure that we are playing in category leagues where really it's going to bump up your overall skill level and the strategy behind it, just because you really have to be paying attention to what's going on. You have to be paying attention to your roster construction. If you don't know what I'm talking about the leagues where you need to face off your opponent with points, assists, steals, blocks, field goal percentage, free throw percentage, three-pointers made. Just y'all know the deal. Anyway, let's get into it, and let's start it off with our number 1 forward, Anthony Davis. Okay, here with Anthony Davis, I know really nobody is going to have any arguments here. I mean, he has decent numbers if you're looking at his overall level of efficiency in the field goal percentage and free throw percentage. And you look at his three-pointers, they are there. You look at his assist, which I am always trying to get regardless of what position we are looking at. And Anthony Davis provides you with decent assist numbers. And what is fantastic about Davis is not only the elite points he's going to put up for you or the elite rebounding that he provides, but something that's a lot harder to find, the blocks. I mean, Anthony Davis is on a completely other level than any other player that you're going to be looking at in the first round in terms of the combination of blocks and points that he decides to give you. And really, if we are looking for a stat that is going to hold back Anthony Davis, maybe something that you need to go out and try to address later on in your fantasy draft, really, there's nothing that he lacks. I mean, he's decent in the three, decent in the assist, elite blocks, decent steals. I mean, everything that you'd want to see from Anthony Davis, he's giving you. And these are my favorite kind of players, because if you take them in your first round, you are not committing to a certain kind of draft strategy. I mean, if you take someone else who maybe is just plummeting you in one category, then you're like, okay, well, it looks like in this round, I have to draft him, I have to draft him, I have to draft him to make up for it. No, here, Anthony Davis, you lock in that elite production in multiple categories, and then you just build your team with the value that falls to you later on in your draft. Okay, so now let's get to a player that really does not fit that mold, and let's get into someone else that makes you change your construction, and this is going to be a Giannis Antetokounmpo. Okay, so here with Giannis, let's all address he has horrible efficiency in his free throw percentage. I know that it has not necessarily been as bad as it was in 2019 in his past seasons, but I think that we look at the way his game has changed over the years and just kind of naturally assume that it is in the range of outcomes for Giannis to be one of the worst free throw shooters out of any other player that you're going to be looking at taking in this range. But what Giannis provides for you is elite numbers literally every other way. I mean, when you are looking at Giannis, you are going to get the points. You are going to get the rebounds. You are going to get the assists. You are going to get the defensive stats, which are so hard to find. Here, I think that if you take Giannis, if he falls to you in a range where you are comfortable with it, I think, honestly, it's a fantastic pick. But what you have to do is you have to change your draft strategy throughout the rest of the draft to make sure that you are optimizing your roster. So if you take Giannis, what I'm going to be looking to do is I'm going to want to be stacking him with a Ben Simmons and Andre Drummond, someone that's also going to tank you in your free throw percentage, completely punt that category, say, I don't care if I lose that category every single week, because I'm going to be dominant at points, I'm going to be dominant at blocks and at rebounds. Try to beat me in those three. I'll give you one. And this is what I talk about all the time whenever I'm trying to explain this to my friends and how they should be attacking their fantasy basketball drafts. You are not trying to win every single category unless the draft falls for you that way. I mean, I'm fine if you draft a team that you say, hey, I'm going to be good at every single spot. I'm not going to be completely locking in a win anywhere, but you are going to have to show up if you want to beat me. But no, I think that if you can go out there and you can be dominant in 7 out of your 8 spots that you're looking at, I mean, that is just such a hard team to go up against because you need some things to break your way. And Giannis could easily go out there and give you close to 30 points a game. He could give you 11 rebounds a game, as well as having respectable assist numbers and the defensive stats. Okay, so now our next player we're going to be talking about, our number 3 forward, someone that I'm going to be a little bit higher on than consensus, Kawhi Leonard. Okay, so obviously the concern with Kawhi is his health. I mean, how many games is he going to be playing? Is he going to be playing in back-to-backs? But here, I mean, it does not matter, in my opinion. If you're going to already be getting that kind of discount on a Kawhi, on a per-game basis, you could make the argument for Kawhi being near the very top of rankings because he does not tank you in a single category. I mean, you're going to get the threes. You are going to get the efficiency. You are going to get the elite defensive production, as well as the totals and assists, rebounds, and points. I mean, Kawhi is one of my favorite players from my childhood. I mean, I loved him in San Antonio. Obviously, he did us dirty by going and just not wanting to play in San Antonio any longer. But here, I think that even if we see Kawhi Leonard possibly sit out 8 games just due to rest management, I still think that he could be a value in fantasy drafts, given the fact that he is going to provide you stats in every category. And similar to a player like an Anthony Davis, you are not going to have to be worried about punting anything in particular. Okay. Now let's get to our next player, the best basketball player to play of all time. I don't care, unless you're a boomer and you want to come out here and try to make an argument based on your own biases, whatever. LeBron James coming in here at 4. Literally just like Kawhi, strong everywhere. I guess you could argue the free throw percentage is not necessarily there, but the problem is we don't know exactly how many games he's going to play. I mean, I don't think we see him a single time in the preseason in 2020, and I think that he could sit out some games at the very beginning of the season. As if I was LeBron, that is something I would 100% be doing. Obviously, this is not a concern too much with a player like Anthony Davis, as Anthony Davis is still in his prime. LeBron on the wrong side of 30, though. We understand that, yes, he is still by far and away one of the best players in the NBA, but the reason he's one of the best players in the NBA still is because how smart he is about taking care of his body. So I think that's something that we're going to continue to see going into the 2020 season. I think we don't see LeBron James playing every single back-to-back. I don't even think we see him suit up for the first month every single game. I mean, just it's going to be a major question mark. This is what we get in a COVID scenario where they are playing in a hilariously short offseason. I mean, I don't even think they should be starting the season this early on, given the fact that these Los Angeles Lakers players were just playing in games a few months ago. Okay, so now let's go with our last player. Someone out of UT says someone that I have a ton of respect for, Kevin Durant. Okay, obviously with Kevin Durant, going to be in the same exact boat of a Kawhi Leonard, a LeBron James. He is going to be strong everywhere, but the only thing is the health. I mean, how many minutes are we going to be getting out of Kevin Durant? And also, what is exactly the usage going to look like with Kyrie Irving going out there, forcing that ball in his direction almost every single possession? And on top of that, we know that there are rumors circulating of possibly a James Harden going to Brooklyn. And if that happened, I mean, if you just looked at the projections for Kevin Durant, I think we would all naturally assume those touches for Kevin Durant in that offense are going to drastically go down. The usage rate should be a lot lower. The minutes played would be lower as well. Here, I think that if we see him go in with only Kyrie Irving really as that ball hog across from him, though, he's still going to be a very strong option. One of the most efficient small forwards that we are going to see at the position this season. We know he gives you the threes, he gives you the field goal and the free throw percentage, as well as rebounds and blocks. I mean, really everything that you'd want from Kevin Durant you're going to see. I mean, maybe you don't necessarily get the steals that you would like to see, but we know that's not something that we are going to be throwing a fit about if Kevin Durant is averaging 30, 10, and 7. All right, now, thank you guys. I really hope y'all enjoyed this video. I really hope y'all got something from it. As always, if y'all did, go down there, drop that like, leave that comment, subscribe to the channel. It really, really helps us out. And yeah, I just want to know what videos y'all would like to see on this channel going forward. I'm also going to do our top 5 centers at the position for 2020 right after this. But yeah, outside of that, I don't know what y'all want, so let me know.